Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. My wife's watching. Hopefully she can see me. Hello? Never mind, babe. Thank you. Guess I'll just do myself. Taking a quick lunch break here to get this done since I screwed up this morning. All right, we're good. All right. Well, hey, anybody that's giving me a second chance after the bad beginning there, I appreciate it. Welcome to the show. This is Fictionally Factual. I want it to be a morning show, a little late right now, but you'll have that. So basically, here's our little, I'm going to play this at the beginning of every episode. This is our intro or description. I don't know what you call it. Welcome to Fictionally Factual Morning Show. Join us on a journey through history, travel, and the unknown as we uncover the truth behind legends, myths, and historical events. Watch and listen in the mornings at 6:30, 5:30 Central for historical stories, guests, and tall tales that will change your perception of the past. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter for a new adventure every day. Fictionally Factual on Lude Presents. And all platforms, Lude Presents, be sure to like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff for me. Give me just a little bit of motivation to keep going because I've been grinding away. I've been, in the office for quite a while putting this together, but I'm excited with it. And I'm happy to do it. So that's going to be our intro. Again, thanks for coming. First episode. This first week, I've got quite a few things. Trying to get used to this whole morning routine. You see, we tried today, but it didn't work just as planned. But anyway, it's routine. It's what it is. Got to build it. So I've been working on it for, like I said, probably 6 months or so. And, uploading, editing, that's just not going to happen. Just not going to happen. It takes too long. I don't have the time with the wife and kids and job. So we're going to do it live and we're going to learn on the go. Just like we had a mix up this morning, we'll have those, we'll correct them, and we'll try to make it better every time. I'd like to get some nice little music in the background for maybe a drive to work or a drive home. We'll figure that out too, but just I'm not up to date on everything yet, so I'm getting there. So today's show, what we're going to do? Well, I have to impress you, I guess. Maybe this first week, give me a couple chances, but so what we got to do is we got to build this audience together. And the only way to do that is to get, new subscribers and new watchers and maybe live people that we can chat with, give us ideas. But I want it to be both, informative and entertaining. Just stick around. There's going to be all kinds of things. I'm going to do stories. I'm going to do interviews. Again, I've said it all, but just keep going here. So, these stories, over the last few years, I've gotten an interest in just reading these, you see these tweets on Twitter that are just wild. You're like, that can't be real. And you read it and it says it's real. I don't know. Based on true events, it's my skeptical take on that, I guess. Some of this stuff's true, some of it's not. But the other part I like about that is I can really engage with the audience and bring them on here and talk about it. So that's my goal. I've got a few people lined up to come on and talk. I've got an interview with Darren Schaefer from the Cooper Vortex coming on tomorrow. So that's going to be fun. My old friend Tex, I know he might be back. Rick, a professor. His wife's a professor. So history people there. So again, going to be fun. But our show today, we're talking about just remote territories. These are crazy things I read stories about that just happened all over the place. So our first one's going to take us to Pitcairn Island. It's way out in the Pacific Ocean. So there's this ship called the Bounty. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it, but basically the British Navy sent a ship, the Bounty, to the Pacific Ocean to pick up breadfruit trees from Tahiti to feed slaves. I have no idea what breadfruit is, but I'm going to look that up also. All right, so months of mistreatment by the captain The crew, led by Fletcher Christian, took control of the ship in what is now known as the Mutiny on the Bounty. Okay. They were sent adrift in a small boat. So in those times, can't imagine what that was like. It says they chose this place to settle to form a unique society with its own set of laws and social norms. All right. At first, it was good. It was paradise. It was a beautiful island. Tensions began to rise. It says alcohol was one of the biggest problems on the island, and it led to a lot of drinking and abuse. Yeah, not a good mix there. Not much to do with a bunch of alcohol. 1793, things took a dark turn when 4 Polynesian men stole muskets and killed the Englishmen except for one. The wives then killed 2 of them. So, quite the turn of events. Doesn't have a happy ending. Many were killed or died young. Yeah, became a British colony. Some of the descendants of mutineers still live on the island. Okay, so fun fact. Not a very good outcome though. You wouldn't expect it to be. All right, next one. This is one of the ones I talked about in one of the old episodes, Clipperton Island. This was crazy. So Clipperton Island's like not that far from America. It's off the west coast of Mexico, but like, I don't know. I saw 700, I saw 1,000 miles. So it's way out there in the middle of nowhere. So they don't know who discovered it, but they think it was this guy named what's his name? Clipperton Island. He was a pirate. He used it as a base for his raids. So in 1906, the British Pacific Island Company acquired the rights to the guano deposits, must have been for the birds, on the island, and built a mining settlement in conjunction with the Mexican government. All right. So 8 years later, around 100 people, men, women, children, were living on the island, thriving in the mining settlement established by the British. Yeah, we said that. All right. So people were making runs, it said. So whoever was supplying it was the middle of the Mexican Revolution, and all of a sudden they stopped. So the regular resupply visits to the island ceased, and the inhabitants were left to fend for themselves. 3 years later, all but one of the males died. And I read that the rest of them died by seeing a mirage out in the ocean and rowing to it. And then they got there and it wasn't one, and they all like killed each other and drowned. So that's quite a story in itself. But there was one guy left. Well, this guy happened to be a recluse lightkeeper who had been there for however many years and didn't really socialize, didn't go out of the lighthouse. It makes you wonder if it's even real because it's wild. But so the guy came out of the lighthouse and became the king of Clipperton, and the women and children left became his property, and he did whatever he did. And, it said survivors were picked up in 1917, but he wasn't one of them. So curious to see if anybody's got more info on that story. The King of Clipperton Island, a tale of a remote island and failed colony. Yeah. So Sealand. I did 5 stories for today. I don't really know how long these shows are gonna run, but I give myself some things to work with. So there's this place called Sealand, and it's outside of the North Sea, outside of Great Britain area. I don't know that area well, but so during the Second World War, the British government built several fortresses, islands in the North Sea, to defend the coast from the Germans. One of these forts was named Ruff's Tower. It was international waters. It was more than 3 miles away from Britain. So it's 12 miles out in the ocean. So back in the 60s, this Major Roy Bates had a vision for an offshore radio station and established it on an abandoned ex-naval fort named Knock John. There was a movie about that, but I'm not quite sure if that was this or not. Philip Seymour Hoffman. But anyway, after facing legal challenges from the government, he occupied Ruff's Tower and declared it the independent state of Sealand. In 1967, he raised the flag and declared the Principality of Sealand. So yeah, he's been battling ever since on this remote sea fort, and it's his. He's a country. So that's a pretty cool story. I wish I knew this little tidbit that they don't tell you about. It may be small in size. Yeah, it's real small. Abandoned fortress in international warfare, a symbol of independence. Right. So interesting. So if you find a sea fort out in the ocean that's more than 3 miles away from the country and nobody owns it, you can claim it and live there. Love it. All right. So the show's going to be all sorts of different things. And I wanted to kind of do that here. One of these stories is this story about Poveglia Island, and that's a little bit different. So I don't want you to think the show is going to be stories of one thing and there's something different. It's going to be a lot of anything and everything. Just an example, this week we're doing this one. We're doing DB Cooper, Alcatraz, Napoleon, however you say that. And then I've got some other things planned too, but it's all over. So anyway, as we approach this Poveglia Island, it's an island off the Venetian Lagoon. There it is, Venice, Italy. So they say that when you come up to this island, it's like a mystery or intrigue. Well, there's much more than that. So at the beginning, it was a bustling hub of trade and commerce. It was a thriving fishing and agricultural community. It was also used as a military defense post tasked with protecting the Venetian Republic from invasion. Wonderful. But it wasn't until the 1700s that it took a darker role. It was used as a quarantine for the bubonic plague victims. Oh, they were sent there to die in isolation. Could you imagine? I couldn't. That's a could you imagine. I used to do that on my show. Oh, the cries of the dying could be heard. It doesn't end there. In 1922, it was converted into a mental institution. So on top of all that and the bubonic plague, it came back as a mental institution where they were subjected to brutal experiments, torture, and mistreatment. The stories of patients being thrown off the bell tower or being subjected to lobotomies will send shivers down your spine. Yes, it will, because that sounds absolutely horrific. It's no wonder the tales of ghosts and haunted spirits still linger. Yeah, I'm not going. I don't know if anyone else is going. Let us know if you would go to Poveglia Island. I will not be there. And then the last one just kind of caught me off guard. So we talked about Sealand a little bit ago. So it's like another thing like that, but it's even crazier. So there's this place called the Grand Duchy of West Arctica. Anybody heard of that? No, me either. So we have all the continents. So there's Antarctica. Okay, apparently it's divided into portions, and each portion's, is a different country or part of another country. Maybe the United States owns some, but so anyway, this guy named Travis McHenry stumbled upon a loophole in the CIA World Fact Book, stated that no formal claims had been made on a specific sector of the Western Antarctica. Well, he was a fan of the Iliad and to claim the land and name it the Achaean territory of Antarctica with its capital Achilles. And then there was this whole legal and challenges to colonize the territory, and their spirits were lifted when they had a religious experience, and they declared the land the fully functioning sovereign nation of the Grand Duchy of West Arctica. Okay, not only that, but it has these crazy names. So like there's this guy, Duke of Ravencroft. He's the Minister of Information, or there's a Minister of Information. And the Travis guy is the Grand Duke Travis I. I mean, so basically this guy's got a huge plot of land in Antarctica, and he has his own given presidential term, and he does whatever he wants. I mean, come on, this guy really figured it out. Good for him. Good for him. If anybody has any places like that, type it on here. I'd love to look into that stuff. Not that it's ever going to happen, but you never know. So, crazy story. He has a large chunk of the continent in Antarctica. Who knows what's there? Minerals, aliens, I don't know. So anyway, so this is like this was kind of my reboot. So again, not all episodes will be 13 minutes. I hope a little bit longer, but even if they are, it's a nice little morning thing to, get you distracted, maybe on with your day. It's not going to take up all your time, or like I said, maybe in the car on the way to work, on the way home. Hey, that's what I'm trying to do. I enjoy doing this, so I hope people listening can enjoy listening to the stories. So please let me know if there's any way I can improve, anything I can change, anything you'd like to see. But other than that, tune into the next one. So tomorrow I've got Darren Schaefer again from Cooper Vortex. We're going to talk about DB Cooper. Until then, farewell. Fictionally Factual, the newest bright shining star in the morning show landscape on YouTube. Is there one? I don't know. But I don't know of many, though, because there's nothing that I watch is there. Join us live. We explored these topics and more. We're excited to build an audience together with subscribers, which I do. Please need you to subscribe. If there's any bit of chance you would like this, please subscribe. Share it with people. because I'm looking forward to doing this. Like I said, I still have a job. I still plan on having a job, but this is a cool little thing to do, and I hope people can get enjoyment from it. So that being said, signing off. I'm Rocky, but on the show, I'm probably going to be like Lude or my self-given nickname Pops, because I used to be the Pop Man. There's a story to that, but Pops Lude, something like that. Signing off. We'll talk to you later. See you tomorrow, I guess.